Hey there, welcome to X3. I'm your host, John C. Dvorak. This is a show with 3 pundits and 1 topic. I'm pundit number 1. I'm here with Andrew Eisner and Joe Engo, respectively pundits 2 and 3. You figure out which is which. Lulzsec says it's calling it quits, which is Lulzsec was a short-lived, or even if it was
50 days.
I think it could have been a CIA front or something like that. It was just a strange operation, and they were hacking into things and then taunting the people they hacked.
Yeah. I mean, they hit some pretty major targets. I mean, they really poked the giant.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason that there's a rumor floating around that the reason that why they decided to call it quits was there was this other hacker group called the A-Team, funny name for it, that was going to start publishing all the personal information about each of the people that were in Lulzsec, and they apparently have released a couple of those names and addresses and phone numbers and their next of kin and all that stuff. And I expect these guys are going to start getting arrested within the next couple of weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
They started to piss a lot of people off. For instance, they published names and addresses of Arizona police officers, which is not cool. But they claimed they were doing it just to expose vulnerabilities in
yeah, that's the old excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go over this one just quickly. That bogus excuse has been used since the late or the mid-'90s, maybe before then. The only reason we're hacking is to show you that you're vulnerable, which, the thing is, you could do that till hell freezes over, because everybody's vulnerable, but especially by the high end, the really good, the hackers that are just amazing. And they're out there, and there's quite a few. And they could dig through anything. They could plow into the most secure operation if they really took enough time at it or targeted it.
Well, there are a lot of white hat hackers out there that are doing responsible disclosure, and that's you find a security vulnerability, you contact the company, say, hey, here's the problem. You have 60 days to please respond to it. And if they don't respond in 60 days, then you release the exploit, and that forces them to go ahead and fix it.
Right.
That's responsible disclosure. But what they're doing is not responsible disclosure.
But also, these hackers are making the law enforcement, look like
the Keystone Cops.
Exactly. So I mean, you got all these young kids. I mean, for instance, this guy George Hotz, Geo Hot, who was probably responsible for this whole Sony thing because he hacked the PlayStation and jailbroke the PlayStation, and then Sony went after him big time. Now apparently he's working at Facebook. So there you go. So I mean, the best and brightest, these hacker kids are now being gobbled up by industry.
No, but that's been happening for a long time.
That's an old story too. Yeah. But because these kids, some of them, I mean, for one thing, first they get involved with a bunch. First, it's dangerous to bring your skill set up through that group, and they do it. And then once they achieve it, and then they go straight. They're pretty good at what they do, at least, and they probably still stay in contact with these with the underground.
Oh yeah.
So it's this valuable asset.
Well, there was actually a statistic released that 25% of hackers out there are FBI informants.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'm sure that why not? The FBI has a lot of informants.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, the FBI just the other day, they went in and raided this one ISP, and basically, I mean, it was pretty. I mean, they had the way they investigated, they just yanked all the servers out, so anybody who had a website running on their servers was down.
Instapaper had one of their MySQL slaves
down. I mean, I don't know what they could have done, alternatively, but it seemed pretty, heavy-handed to just come in and, unplug the servers and take them back to the office. This actually happens
very, very often. I used to work at a data center, and it happened quite a few times. They would just come in, and they would say, we're here for a warrant. You weren't allowed in the server room. They would just walk in themselves, grab whatever they need to, and walk out. You can't stop them. What are you going to do? Yeah. They're going to arrest you, or they're going to shoot you if you try to grab them. I mean, you have no control over this. The company can't say you can't come in here. They have a warrant. They're going to take anything they want.
See, that means American businesses like this should be thinking in terms of the way the Chinese do, which is they have a lot of these companies that get inspected, they're always saying, well, we're inspected, we're great. They have the one showcase operation where they have everybody's clean and there's the fingernails and everything. And to go ahead and inspect. Yeah. But the real operation is down the street and some other place. Yeah. And there's a bunch of slaves in there, and they're being whipped by guys, with wearing
the cover.
Yeah, it's the cover. So I don't see why we can't do that with our server farms. Yeah, sure. Come on in, take what you want. Anyway, okay. Well, we have nothing but great ideas on this show. You've been watching X3.